everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another day in Doctor Who December. It is time. It's taken me a while to do this, but it is time. But it is finally time for my top 10 First Doctor stories. I've actually had this ranked for a long time. I've had this written down for ages, but I just haven't got around to filming it. I also had to go back and familiarise myself with just a couple of them because I couldn't completely remember the details. So if I am a bit vague, do excuse me. But I have only watched the episodes once, so I am probably going to miss out on loads of knowledge and stuff, but I'm just being honest and I've only seen them once, so that's what we're going off. There is only one 10 out of 10 in the First Doctor era. Those of you that have been here since the start will probably know what that is. But we're going to start off. So the lowest score in my top 10 is 8 out of 10s. There is a lot of 8 out of 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of them are 8 out of 10. So I have kind of ranked them, but I find that they're all quite interchangeable because I do just genuinely put them all on the same par. So we're going to kick off with the Aztecs. Now, the Aztecs is the first time I remember really connecting with the First Doctor. He had some really good moments with Ian, and I just remember thinking, oh, okay, he's not always miserable. This is good. So I do have really fond memories of the Aztecs. I think it's the first time we had like Ian doing his fighting, and I just feel like it was one of the first times that I really connected with the stories. That was a bit of a breakthrough. So 8 out of 10, I think that's reasonable. I think the Aztecs is generally quite a popular one. Next up, with another 8 out of 10, is the Romans. I have such fond memories of this story. The TARDIS team at the time was really strong. I love Vicky. Apart from some slight, sexism and stuff, I just really enjoy it. Again, we saw the First Doctor have a bit of a comedic side, and Barbara and Ian, I mean, they definitely stayed together and got married, right? They're just like the perfect team together. So I just have really fond memories of the Romans, and it feels like a lifetime ago that I watched it. And in fact, it's not even 2 years ago. Another 8 out of 10, The Chase. Oh, my favourite episode from that was when they were in like the haunted house bit. That was just so cool. We had Stephen come in, or the introduction of Stephen, but we also lost Barbara and Ian, and that's actually quite a fundamental point. Like, I remember they were so happy when they left, and I was so flummoxed by them leaving, even though I knew it was kind of inevitable. But it was like, hang on a second, like, all the originals have gone, like the original companions. So that was a big moment when they left. But all in all, I have really fond memories of The Chase, and I think also it's because I felt like every episode was really different. It didn't feel samey, if that makes sense. There was a lot of different scenes and settings, and I really enjoyed The Chase, actually. That's one of the ones I really look forward to rewatching. Next up, another 8 out of 10, surprisingly, The Savages. Now, I, to be honest, couldn't overly remember this. When I saw the title, I was like, I don't really remember. And then I went back and looked at my reaction, and I was like, oh, right, yeah. Stephen absolutely shone in this. And again, Stephen leaving, I just did not expect it. Like, I feel like with the First Doctor's companions, all of their departures completely took me by surprise.
I will stay. Thank you. Thank you. You have justified our faith. Je bless you both, Dodo. Je bless you.
And I was devastated when Stephen left, but he left for a good reason, so I understood that. I really enjoyed the Savages, actually. Again, is all of it missing? Maybe that's why I didn't remember it that much. I feel like most of it was missing. So that actually would be cool to see the missing episodes, because Stephen's departure still massively got to me. I think there was a clip, wasn't there? I feel like there was a snippet in Stephen's departure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Stephen, he's up there. One of my autographs will always have a place in my heart. Right, number 5. Another 8 out of 10, The War Machines. This is another... do you know what? It's so weird because I feel nostalgic towards these episodes already. Like, I genuinely feel so nostalgic. I loved this story. And actually, in hindsight, I probably would give it a bit higher, but I'd need to rewatch it. Ben and Polly coming in. The real 60s vibe, I just loved. And I think that's why I gave it so highly. Also, it was an Earth-based story. It just had everything I wanted, and I fell in love with Ben, didn't I? I fell in love with Ben. And that's when did Dodo leave in the War Machines? She did, didn't she? Justice for Dodo. I'm sorry, she still would not have left then. Like, she just went off to the countryside. No. Next up, my last 8 out of 10, The 10th Planet. Of course, The 10th Planet was going in here. Is that my only? It's my only Cyberman story. Did he have more than one Cyberman story? Well, I don't know. The 10th Planet. That scene where the Cybermen come out in this, like, in the snow, is probably one of the most shocked times I've ever had.
What? Are you fucking kidding me?
Even though it didn't twig to link it to Twice Upon a Time. Just did not click. And the first Doctor's regeneration, I've said this already here, but feels like a lifetime ago. And I was furious. If you go back and look at my reaction, I think I was devastated that the second Doctor had come in. I was like, I'm not going to like him. I don't want him. Obviously, I went on to absolutely adore the second. But it just shows how you can grow to love every Doctor so much. And it's okay to love every Doctor. Like, you don't have to... You don't even have to have favourites. Every single one impacts you at the time. And in my classic journey so far, every single Doctor has had a real impact on me, and I've adored at the time, which is amazing. I was devastated when Hartnell went. Absolutely devastated. I just didn't see it coming. But that's a good thing, actually, because it just makes for a better reaction for you guys. But The 10th Planet was really amazing. Right, with an 8.5 out of 10. The Dalek Master Plan. Now, I think a lot of you will rate this higher. The reason I'm not, I mean, that's still high. The reason I'm not is because of the missing episodes, and it was so long. Is this the one where, sorry, I'm just like genuinely trying to remember. Is this the one where Sarah like ages in front of everyone? Because that is one of the most, that's probably in the top 5 creepiest moments of Classic Who so far. That was like chilling. But yeah, I think that's a reasonable score. Right, next up with another 8.5 out of 10. Interesting. Okay, the Dalek invasion of Earth. Now looking back in hindsight, I would put that higher than the Dalek master plan. The Dalek invasion of Earth. The first time I felt my heart break in Classic Who with losing Susan. That Doctor's speech, and when they played it again in Adventures in Space and Time, oh man, that hit me so hard. Like, we got hints, didn't we, that she was maybe like falling in love with someone, but to actually see her go was absolutely devastating. Was devastating. And my favourite scene is when the Dalek came out of, where were we, the Thames or something.
Word. Turn and dive in the water.
What? Honey, don't dive in the... Shut up.
I will never forget that moment, and I think it's one of my best reactions, because it just, I don't think I'd looked at the title, and it was just such a shock. All the clips of the Daleks going through London, amazing. It just felt really, quite epic for Doctor Who, considering how far into Doctor Who we were. It just felt like a real, I don't know, my reaction to Susan, I think, just kind of confirmed, okay, like, I'm really into Classic Who. Right, with a 9 out of 10, the Keys of Marinus. Yes, I will fight for the Keys of Marinus until the day I die. I've said this time and time again, but it just gave me real, like, Sherlock whodunit vibes. Like, I do sound like a broken record, but anything that involves like solving puzzles and anything like that, I absolutely adore. So the Keys of Marinus was great, and the shot of, was it there like a shot of it being on an island or something? There's something like that I absolutely loved. But I don't really have much more to say other than it was really great. And there was a really great setting where the main, I am literally going off the top of my head, there was like a glass bit, wasn't there? And there was like a mazy bit around it, and that was really cool. So yes, right. My number 1 spot with 10 out of 10. You guys know it. The Space Museum. Now, a lot of you say that part 1 is a 10 out of 10 for you, but then it goes downhill. For me, it was just straight 10 out of 10. That is my only 10 out of 10 with the first Doctor. So, look, the first episode, fantastic. Like, seeing doubles of them, the Doctor coming out of a Dalek. Vicky was just on fire, and I think that's why I love it so much. She was just this little firecracker that was like, look, we're just going to go for it. We're going to fight. And I loved that. But definitely seeing the 4 of them in those cabinets, man, that creeped me out. But I loved it. I really like the concept of the Space Museum, and I would really enjoy a throwback to that if Chibnall were to do it. Just a little you know, I just feel like that's something that they could easily relate back to Classic Who. And I think that's something that I'm kind of yearning for a bit more with New Who, is this link back to Classic Who. And there probably is loads in, you know, between the series after 2005 that I haven't yet gone back and watched. But in the era that we're in, I feel like Chibnall needs to do some more tie-ins. Yes, we've got Captain Jack, which is amazing, but if we could have just some throwbacks to like Classic Who, that honestly would just top things off for me. Anyway, I was talking about the Space Museum. Love the Space Museum, 10 out of 10. I don't know when I'm going to go back. By the way, I've got a really sore throat, so if I sound dodgy, that's why. I don't know when I'm going to go back and watch all of Classic Who. My plan is to finish Classic Who and then go straight through to New Who and watch it in order. And then I'll go back round and watch the episodes again, I think. Because I just want to watch Doctor Who all the way through, just to see how I feel, to do the whole thing. And also, like, just what a cool thing to say, that I watched it all the way through in order. So that's my goal. So if you want to stick with me, stick with me. Right, there we go. There's my top 10. Like I say, if you would like to put your top 10, put your top 10. But if you would like to leave your top 3, then let me know, because I genuinely find it so interesting what everyone puts. And please respect everyone's comments. We're all Doctor Who fans, so we're all going to have different favourites, and just respect each other's opinions. So, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed, and I will be back tomorrow, or maybe later today, with another reaction.